environment. So providing long-term value to all their buyers. All right. And these are the core value of a company which has formed a brand equity and identity so strong. Okay, that you will see in a while. All the product carries their DNA. So what is their DNA? Passions, innovations, enterprise, sustainability, and people. And in the people, right, architect and whoever they engage, right, they will make their concept come to life. Okay, so UOL is a leading Singapore listed company and hospitality group with the diversified portfolio of development and investment property, hotel service in Asia, Europe, and North America. So notable one in Singapore pertaining to their luxury hotel collection will be these three shown. Okay, namely Park Royal Collections, Pickering, Marina Bay, and also the more recent one is Pan Pacific Orchard. So later I will share some story. Okay, just to show you how they have went about with their innovation and determination to actually bring out their core value into every product they have developed. So the above will showcase the current Park Royal Collection Marina Bay that was reopened in 2020. I'm sure most of you will be familiar with this hotel. It is used to be Marina Mandarin Hotel. UOL took over and totally revamped the place. Okay, named it Park Royal Collection Marina Bay and giving it a theme garden in the hotel. All right, so they have actually successfully brought in the garden into the hotel itself. Okay, so as you can see from the photo above, right, the hotel has also won many awards as a sustainable hotel. So can you see the garden in the hotel? You can see the garden in the hotel, right? Okay, so next we look at their notable hotel. Another one is a Park Royal Pickering Hotel. Okay, the Pickering. Okay, I'm sure many of us are very familiar with this iconic building. Okay, the hotel actually reopened the business in 2013 and till today. 10 years later, it is still winning awards after awards. The slogan for this award, right, is actually Hotel in a Garden theme. Okay, so they have successfully built a hotel within a garden, isn't it? So this is a very beautiful and iconic even after 10 years. It is fully showcased their passions, innovation, and sustainable build quality, which provide a long-lasting value. Okay, these are some interior photos, okay, to showcase their attention to little details, okay, and how they cleverly use every single area, creating the kind of ambience that set out to create 2D, 3D feature wall, okay, reflective water feature showcasing the ripple of the water and light play. Okay, and recently we actually went to the this hotel, Pan Pacific at Orchard. All right, to meet the UOL CEO. Okay, so and we were very puzzled and we don't understand why the CEO actually brought us up and down, okay, to see everything. And finally, we understand what he actually want to deliver to us, right? He want to showcase that they are like a magician. They can inject their DNA, their passion, innovation, enterprise, people in their product and become a masterpiece. Okay, so they really like 说到做到, they deliver what they mean, right? So picture in the left showcase the previous pen pad. Okay, looks quite dated, isn't it? Right, so injecting their core value and the brand identity into the hotel, they have transformed it into a masterpiece. Okay, so the theme of the hotel is actually garden in the sky. So they have actually created 4 different themes within the same small plot of land, creating a different level, including the jungle, beach, forest, cloud theme. It is quite amazing, isn't it? On a small plot of land. So how they actually transform an old pen pad into this piece of art here within the same plot of land, right? They're effectively rejuvenating the area and change the skyline over there. Each of these 3 hotels actually managed to capture the essence of what nature can provide. So we can also see how UOL transform each unique site, difficult site to the product that is very iconic and unique, not just as a whole, but also in the park. So this will be the case for WATTEN House, okay, as well, whereby every single unit had its own individualized frontage and view. Okay, so for the wealthy especially, what do they like? Okay, they don't just buy a house. They buy a house in a garden. They buy into the landscape as well. The landscape is very important. Watten House perched on the top of the hill, okay, which natural sloping terrains will provide a unique garden, only exclusive to the 180 owners of Watten House. Okay, so other than their hotel series, right, they also brought in their magic touch on their residential collections, okay, creating the masterpiece. Okay, so it started from Nasim Park residences, whereby many notable families have purchased and kept for legacy. Okay, you can hardly find anyone willing to sell. Ever wonder why? Okay, because it is really a collector piece, right? So it is actually meant to pass down from generations to generations. Okay, so you will keep hearing us repeating this, passed down from generation to generations. Okay, so next on their list, right, will be Mayor House. We nickname it as a Nasim in the East, the first of its kind in the East and likely the last, already fully sold. Okay, and finally we have Watten House, the latest collector piece by UOL, slated to be the crown jewel of Watten Estate. UOL is actually very familiar with the Watten Estate area and is determined to get this plot of land, as because they know their attribute very, very well. It is the best part of Watten Estate, being the highest point of the estate. And Watten House was by them many years ago, if you don't know, right? Okay, was by them many years ago, and they are now coming back to rejuvenate the area. Okay, a generation later to produce a new product for the new generations. So some picture of Nasim Park residences, timeless and evergreen. You can hardly find anyone selling there. All right. So Mayor House, the more Angmo style, the more Western, okay, bringing the English courtyard into Singapore, creating one of kind Nasim in the East. So what do the high-end people like to have? Number one is the address, right? So Nasim, without a doubt, good address. The theme is luxury living by botanic gardens. Mayor House, the theme is mentioned in the park. So also without a doubt, they also have Watten House. Okay, the theme is tranquility on the hill. So without a doubt, a highly coveted address as well. Okay, so located in a low-rise area pristine, right, best of Watten area, elevated standing tall against the neighbors. Okay, so certain block and facing can even see all the way to Bukit Timah Hill and CBD area. Okay, being a low-rise development on the elevated ground, it is actually very rare attributes. So this is how UOL is positioning each product. But high-end freehold new build is increasing, getting very scarce. So which brings us to the second point, limited editions. So how many people who own Nasim or Mayor House will sell? Very little, right? Why? Because the wealthy people bought Nasim and they pass on to their children. And the children already have children. So the rich, right, they like to pass on from generation to generation. Okay, so Watten House will be the crown jewel in Watten. So just thinking about all the en bloc sales, right? The recent cooling measure actually made en bloc sales even worse. Okay, people who own a unit in any such enclave as Watten are generally who? They are like Indon, Chinese, rich Singaporean. Will they sell at, for what will they sell at en bloc price, especially if they are foreigner, they are going to face 60% additional buyer's stamp duty, right? So if they want to get anything after that, they will want higher price, which developer are willing and unwilling to pay for it now, right? So it is not about us. It is not only about a scarcity. It is about no more future stock. Okay, so further the world is in a very troubled state now, okay. I'm sure many of you have read the news, okay, but yet when the world is facing the dark cloud, Singapore actually become a very safe. It's a safe havens. So not only politically but even climatically, okay, the super rich in the neighboring country will want to come to Singapore, and Watten House with its exceptional attributes, right, will naturally attract them. This is what they are looking for. Okay, freehold, coveted address, exclusive, and of course the wealthy people also like to look at the product attribute itself. So it is definitely a product that they want to hold, and then they want to pass down from generation to generations. Okay, tranquility on a hill. Exclusivity is very important for the rich people, and 286 units could have been built, but instead UOL chose to build only 180 exclusive units. This is also an en bloc site, so it is not PPVC, which also means it allowed more flexibility for the people to amend to their liking, you know. So while Mayor House took on a more Western style, Watten House will be different as per how collector items are like. All right, it will take on more Asian contemporary feel. Okay, more of a lifestyle luxury. A lot of people play on the color, greens, light, water feature, and artworks. Right. Okay, so with all the boxes to what the wealthy people like to tick, right? The number one, the address. So it ticked. Okay, number two, limited editions. Okay, so not only scale but also no more future stock. Okay, number three, the freehold and timeless to pass down from generation to generation. You will at least hear 10 times this one, generation to generation. Okay, so number four, we have the exceptional product attribute. Okay, it's no wonder Watten House is so highly anticipated. So what's more, it is also located. This is also just newly found out from the architect. They say it's actually located right within 3 kilometers to 33 out of 39 GCB areas in Singapore. All right. So why do you think people who buy from generation to generation are not selling their house? Why are they collecting? Why are they not selling? Okay, when they can buy other things like stock and share and so on, right? So it's because they want to pass down, okay, from generation to generation, right? Okay, so Watten House is actually a perfect product for them lah. Okay, the GCB owners around will be interested to buy. Okay, for the children's a location they are confident in and comfortable with amenities nearby, with MRT stations, with Nanyang school, with RGPS within 1 km, and what's more, is close to them, right? They will love their children to be close to them. All right. So to end off my part here, this is what Watten House is about. It is well located with a highly desired address, close to many amenities such as MRTs, top school, tenure is freehold, tranquility. Okay, peace and quiet set on the highest point of Watten Estate. Okay, the exceptional product and with the high spec of provisions surrounded by the nature inside and outside the developments. Hilltop view with a low-rise development, a very rare attribute, contemporary Asian touch, long frontage, and the flexible on the configurations. Okay, scale cost because it is rare. Okay, only 180 units for the discerning views, and finally very exclusive. Okay, so next Regine will brief on the architect and the landscape portion, and I will share with you the floor plan later. All right. Okay.
Hello. Hello, thank you, Zen. Hello, everyone. I'm Regine. Hope you are very excited after all Zen has shared, okay, to know more about this exceptional limited edition masterpiece that UOL has come up with. So as shared by Zen before, UOL is a master at identifying good sites and turning challenging sites into masterpieces. Whatever they conceptualize, together with their passion, innovation, enterprising spirit, they have managed to somehow create and deliver every single time. So all these could not have been done without the people element. All right, being in the business for 60 over years, they know who are the right people to work with in the industry. Okay, so they partnered top-notch experts in their own field, and for Watten House, they have gotten two very big names in their individual industry. A61 for architecture and Henning Larsen as the landscape architect. All right, so a quick introduction on A61. They have been around since 1974, right after the founding of URA. All right, so some iconic developments by them, which I'm sure most of you will know of, are, Cape Royal, Coast at Sentosa, and they also collaborate for Marina One. And maybe a bit of juicy fact, fun facts will be that they are actually recently appointed to be the architect for Terminal 5 as well. Okay, so they are used to very big projects. Okay, so next, a little bit about the landscape architect. UOL, as we know, are very particular about their landscaping and has won so many awards for their landscaping. They must know what they're doing. Okay, so for Watten House, they got in Henning Larsen, which is an international studio under the Rambo Group. Okay, which was founded in Denmark 78 years ago. All right, both firms are big names in the industry with a wealth of experience under their belt. Okay, Henning Larsen is led by famous landscape architect Mr. Chris Long. He has done many notable projects such as the Istana Front Lawn, Jurong Lake Garden, Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park, as well as Mayor House. He is also the one who put the garden into the hotel at Park Royal Collections Marina Bay. So all of you have seen from the earlier slides, yeah, how UOL transformed the hotel and brought the garden into the hotel itself. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look at Watten House. As mentioned by Zen, address is very, very important to the wealthy. And Watten House definitely fits the bill. It is situated within a low-density private enclave and is within 3 kilometers to 33 out of 39 GCD enclaves in Singapore. Being a low-rise development, it is amazing as certain blocks and units can actually see all the way to Bukit Timah Hill and CBD area. Right, usually 5-story developments, you don't really get much of a view. Okay, so this is a very unique point about Watten House. Okay, so Watten House is also located within an area with utmost convenience. Within a short 6 to 8 minutes walk, you will reach Tan Kah Kee MRT. A very pleasant walk surrounded by beautiful houses and lots of green. Watten House is also situated within the education belt with the highly sought after Nanyang Primary and Raffles Girls Primary School within 1 kilometer of the address. Okay, amenities are also aplenty. I'm sure all of you will know all this by now. Okay, but these are very, very important points because not every development can tick so many boxes. Okay, so next, this map will actually showcase the immediate schools around the vicinity. Not only do we have the 2 top primary schools, there's also Nanyang Girls High School, National Junior College, Hwa Chong Institution, and NUS Law Campus, just to name a few only. Okay, and within a few minutes walk, you can also cut through Shelford Road and reach the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Singapore Botanic Garden. All right, now other than having all these amenities within easy reach, this map will further showcase how Watten House is surrounded by green. Lots and lots of greenery. Owners at Watten House can also easily reach the Bukit Timah Sky Park. Right, post-COVID especially, you all find more and more people are getting more health conscious, right? So living here, as you can see, is a lot about lifestyle. Low in density, private, surrounded by all the necessary amenities and attributes that anyone will want. Okay, and combining, the convenience of being so near to all these essential amenities while yet preserving its serene and peaceful environment. Okay, so next, finally, one of the most important map, we have been talking about how Watten House is at the best part of Watten, how it is perched at the very top. This is actually a contour map showing the topography of the site itself against its surrounding neighbors. Can you see the difference in height versus Watten House? At our highest point, which is where the pool will be, is 25 meters. All right, you can see surrounding us, they are all about 15 meters or so. Okay. Okay. This is what the site map will look like against its neighbors. Okay, we are surrounded by, Watten House is elevated and surrounded by mainly landed housing and low-rise developments. Our lowest ground floor unit is already elevated as compared to the ground floor of the surrounding neighbors, and there will be no towering buildings over us. Okay, and I'm sure feng shui wise, right, regardless of religion and all that, it's always a good thing to be at the very top. Okay. Yeah. And view-wise, as mentioned earlier, some units will be able to have long view towards Bukit Timah Hill and the CBD area. The above map will showcase the direction and view it is facing towards. Some units will be facing towards the central water catchment area, Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, and then towards the southeast will be Singapore Botanic Gardens. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the views. This is a photo given by the architect, but if not wrong, a more updated one might be given soon. Okay, but anyway, from here, you can see that facing towards the northwest, southwest direction, you can actually have a nice long view, and you can actually see Bukit Timah Hill over here. Okay. Next, facing the southwest direction, you will tilt towards the fairer area, okay, where you can see Diliden, very iconic development, right? And also the Bukit Timah Hill as well. And finally, towards the southeast and northeast direction, whereby you are facing towards Shelford Road, you can actually get a long view of the CBD in the distance. And as WATTEN House is located in a predominantly low density, low rise private enclave, right? You will not have any big bulky building towering over you. You will also enjoy the clear sky view as well. All right. So now let's take a look at the overview of the development. Sitting on the best part of WATTEN Hill, perched at the very top of a hill, WATTEN Hill has a huge land area of 220,000 square feet. It's about 5 acres, which is actually a very huge plot of land. It has a gross plot ratio of 1.5, and thus the development is made up of 8 blocks of 5-story plus attic. It is a development to be collected with its freehold status, enabling buyers to pass down from generation to generation. Okay, there are a total of 180 units instead of the initial 286 units to ensure exclusivity and the possibility of building long frontages for each home. Okay, there is one level of basement car park, and ceiling height-wise, it's above average at 3.25 meters from floor to ceiling. Penthouse-wise will enjoy at the topmost level 3.5 meters, while the living and dining will be actually from 3.5 to 4.2 meters. Okay, there are a total of 183 car park lots with 2 EV lots. Bicycle bay is also provided with 40 lots, right? There are a total of 180 units of 3-bedroom units to penthouse units. 40 of the units will be the smaller 3-bedroom at 990 square feet and 1,163 square feet, while from the 3+ study unit onwards, all units will have their own private lift. 78% of the units within this development are actually big format layouts. Okay, this development is very exclusive with 60 units of 3+ study layout, 36 units of 4 and 5 bedder, and only 8 units of very exclusive and very special penthouses, which are 6 and 7 bedroom types. And as mentioned by Zen earlier, because WATTEN House is an en-bloc, buyers will have more flexibility in terms of enlarging living spaces, etc. There are 2 showflat units in the showflat, namely the 3+ study at 1,539 square feet and the 5-bedroom unit type at 2,368 square feet. The 5-bedroom showflat showcases this flexibility as one of the room beside the living room had been hacked to see what can be done. Okay, so once you all manage to see the showflat, you'll be able to experience what it's like. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, Mayor House UOL's previously fully sold luxury collection had a Western theme to it. So this time round at WATTEN House, UOL has decided to go with an Asian contemporary theme. Okay, one of the design inspiration for both the architect and landscape architect is this hotel located in Japan, Mitsui Kyoto. The hotel actually seamlessly integrates with its natural surrounding, fostering a deep connection to nature through carefully designed gardens and water features, creating a balance and softening, the building mass and hard surfaces. This is what you will actually see at WATTEN House, okay, with the minimalistic Zen-inspired approach, okay, so as to create this tranquility on the hill and simple elegance throughout the property. Right. The other inspiration that they took from is actually Aman Kyoto. Okay, the architect has actually successfully infused this 2 hotels design theme into WATTEN House. All right, so Asian contemporary, perhaps a lot of people will not know what it means. And today, during our sharing, I actually checked ChatGPT also. All right, so Asian contemporary is actually an artistic style that fuses elements of modern design with touches of Asian traditional designs. Okay, so creating a unique and harmonious blend of the old and the new. So this is actually much similar to what UOL is setting out to do here, because they are rejuvenating WATTEN Estate with WATTEN House, you know, after they have created WATTEN Hill so many years ago. So a generation later for the next generation. So it's basically like old meets new. So unlike how it was before, right? When there was a period when there was a sudden influx of like new rich, whereby you see people, you know, deck out from top to toe in branded stuff and all that, just to show, hey, I'm rich, you know. But WATTEN House is not about that. All right, WATTEN House is all about classiness, about understated luxury. There's an emphasis on like subtle and understated elegance, rather than just screaming out, I'm rich. Okay, it's about creating a sense of refinement and sophistication through simplicity. Emphasis is actually placed on the quality, the meticulous attention to details, functionality, and timelessness, because this product is meant to be passed on from generation to generation. Okay, so next, also another inspiration that they took from, taking reference from Hangzhou Four Seasons. Later on, we shall see that within WATTEN House itself, they have also created a similar pool concept of embedding oppositions. What it basically means is that they have actually placed a regular pool within an irregular free flow pool. So, you know, harmoniously combining traditional and naturalistic pool designs, resulting, you know, in a very visually captivating and you know, creating a more serene and immersive environment, promoting relaxation and connection with the nature itself. Okay, so throughout the development, akin to walking around like you know, a beautiful home of a very wealthy, you know, like 大爷, you know, lot, you'll find carefully curated art designs using all kinds of elements. Okay, the landscape architect has actually thoughtfully blended the elements of like 2 dimensions with those of 3 dimensions within the development, you know, seamlessly weaving together things like, you know, that are flat, such as, you know, like walkways, patios, and meticulously arranged gardens with 3-dimensional components such as raised beds, artistic sculptures, serene water features, and thriving vertical plantings. Okay, so this marriage of contrasting dimensions help to elevate the visual allure of the landscape, so that, you know, give it a bit of more depth and complexity, like, you know, 层次感, something like that. Okay, and also as mentioned, there will be a lot of, there will be art pieces within this collector's item as well. So UOL has actually already commissioned some art pieces from these notable artists. Okay, Han Saipo as well as Hamidi Hadi. All right, and you'll find, you know, it's like, you know, you'll find collector's sculptures and artworks within collector's item as well. Okay. So this will be a close-up of the elevation of the terrain. You can see WATTEN House is actually sitting on a hill, with the base of the hill where the playground is all the way to the other end over there. The highest point will actually be where the pool is. So it is like a hill. All right. The whole WATTEN House is built on a hill. All right. So this is how it looks like if we are able to take a look at the cross section of the development. If we cut it across from the park over to the main entrance, the developer has actually tried their best to maintain the terrain so as to bring about a unique garden landscape to the residents of WATTEN House. Okay, this is another of the architect's drawing showing the green and pool meandering from the top of the hill down to all the different parts of the development itself. So this is actually the site map. Okay, let's do a walkthrough of what the site map is like. Okay, sitting on a very huge plot of land, 220,000, comprising of 8 blocks. So this is actually where the entrance is, fronting the road. This is actually minor Shelford Road. All right, so as you enter the development, you will see the main entrance. All right, you'll be greeted by the guardhouse, and as you go in, this is the arrival lounge. All right, from the arrival lounge itself, right, we are actually not at the facilities level itself. We are about 1.5 meters below the facilities level. So there's actually this lift over here and staircase which leads you up to the facilities level. And if you were to go down from the arrival lounge, right, down to the basement, that is actually where the concierge will be. If the car were to turn left, that will bring us down to the basement car park. Okay, there is only one level of basement car park. Okay. All right, then as we move upwards, okay, as you take the lift up to the facilities deck, the first thing that will greet you will be the arrival water, cascading water feature. Okay, the first thing that greets you as you come up to the facilities, that will be this cascading water feature, setting the tone to the whole development of understated luxury, quiet and elegance. Okay, as you walk further in, you will be greeted by the 50 meters lap pool. Okay, the pool that is embedded into another pool. All right, this is the pool which they have gotten the inspiration from Four Seasons Hotel of embedding opposites, having a regular 50-meter pool embedded within a larger free-form pool, creating an immediate sense of style and relaxation. Okay, and if we were to stand at the other end and look across the pool, this is what it will look like. Can you see what it looks like with the 50 meters pool elevated within the free-form lazy pool? And to enhance the relaxing and serene environment, the landscape architect has actually chosen to plant willow trees around the pool area. So, you know, willow trees are very, you know, they have this very thin and slender leaves, right? So you can imagine the cascading branches and slender leaves will give it a very elegant and graceful appearance. Okay, further inspiring a sense of refinement, 有修养的嘛, and beauty. Picture yourself entering the development from the moment just now, from the arrival lobby, and strolling past the cascading waterfall, gentle flow producing a very soothing melodic sound. And as you proceed to the pool area, the sight of the water's gentle ripples along with the encompassing willow trees, right, with their, you know, gracefully drooping branches and swaying leaves. You know, all this will actually give you a very calm, you know, and contribute to the overall sense of peace and relaxation. Don't know if you can imagine, but have to imagine. Okay, so this is what it looks like as a cross-section of the swimming pool itself. You can see a lot of emphasis have been placed on landscaping, even right beside the pool itself. All right, you see all these willow trees and all that. Okay, now as we look at the second courtyard, okay, the whole development is actually split up into 3 different courtyards. Okay, the main courtyard being where the 50-meter lap pool is, and the second courtyard right beside it, and the third courtyard being on the closer to where block 42 is. Okay, all right, in this courtyard you'll find the pool and garden gracefully cascading from the upper level down to the lower terrain, okay, creating a very seamless and continuous flow. Okay, these will be the cross section showcasing the emphasis they have placed on the landscaping greenery. So you can imagine after dinner, right, as you walk around the development surrounded by these beautifully specially curated greens. Okay, and finally the last courtyard. Okay, the last courtyard, there will be a staircase here beside block 42, which will lead you down to the lower courtyard. Okay, the height difference where, you know, you can see block 38 and 40, right? The height difference between 38 and 40 to facilities level is about 3 meters difference. All right, so as you go down to the lower courtyard, okay, you can see that's where we actually have the function room, the gym, as well as the reading corner. Okay, so this is what the reading pavilion will look like. Okay, surrounded by greens, very quiet surrounding. And this is where you'll find the aqua gym. Okay, so, and you know, surrounded by a lot of greenery. Okay, the function room will be beneath block 44. Oh, sorry, I keep saying 40 is 44. Okay. Okay, and this is what the function room will look like. Okay, with its own private kitchen and powder room, it is the perfect place for residents to host their guests. Okay, this function room actually boasts of high-end finishes designed to make a lasting impact and to astonish your guests. Okay, it actually exudes very quiet sophistication and luxury throughout the whole function room itself. Okay, every decoration is done in such a way to reflect a very refined touch. Okay, okay, and exudes a very subtle refinement, creating an inviting ambience. And then further imagine, you know, as you're hosting your guests within a very quiet part of the development, sitting inside with the aircon on as you look out towards the beautiful greenery and the pool features as it, you know, cascades downwards. Okay, so you can see this is a bit hard to imagine, but you can imagine what it will look like with all the greens and all the water outside. Okay. So this will be a view from Shelford Road Playground overlooking block 38 and 40. The elevation from the playground is already at 4 meters. okay, and block 38 is actually at one of the lowest point of the whole development, okay, but the elevation from the playground is already at 4 meters, and you can see how by building only 180 units instead of 286 units, the developer has managed to give each unit a very long frontage. Some of our units actually have about like 20 over meters of frontage, whereas if you compare to GCBs, right, good class bungalow, the smallest good class bungalow frontage is only about 18.5 meters. Okay. Right, this is an overview with all the areas whereby there are greeneries and trails to walk